As rural Americans, we have a unique understanding of and connection to the land. Whether we ranch, farm, log, or simply recreate, what we do today determines our tomorrow. As stewards of the land, it's our duty to ensure that our children and grandchildren can enjoy the outdoors in a similar manner that was afforded us. Join the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and ensure the future of elk, other wildlife, their habitat, and our hunting heritage. Visit rmef.org today.
Thanks, as always, to our friends at Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation for their continued support of all things according to Flint. And this week, for episode number 45, I welcome members of the PBR Live Arena production team, music directors Brad Narducci and Richard Jones, and one of the voices of the PBR, Mr. Matt West. We are proud of what we produce every single week in the Live Arena on the PBR tour, and we truly believe it is the standard of live events in Western sports. And we like to talk philosophies. We like to talk about it, and we like to talk a little bull riding. But most of all, we like to mix a little humor along with it. So enjoy episode number 45 as we talk PBR production. But first, a message from our good friends at Pendleton Whiskey. Well, welcome to episode number 45 of According to Flint. The gang's all here that we don't get to... Well, we do this often because we're on the road. Voice of the PBR, Matt West. Music director, Brad Narducci. Music director and production...
Guru.
Wow.
Live event producer.
Live event producer, Richard Jones. So, West, Nard, and Big Sexy right here. All in studio, but... It's hard to explain to people, like, when I'm home, by the way, it is the week of Billings, Montana, so we're all in one place where we can do this, and I appreciate you guys.
Obviously, by the fact that we're all in your studio here. We're all in one place.
There's not many people get to come to the undisclosed location.
Yeah, I felt that you blindfolding us to get here was
Weird.
unnecessary.
It was weird.
I listened to the speed bumps.
I
we
counted
went by
the
a cocktail
turds.
party, which I'm sure was just a bunch of turkeys in the field. Yeah.
It was 6 rights and 2 lefts. So
The train, there was a train.
But what did you
I
say?
need to do a better job.
What did you say it's called? It was, what is it? The rain? What'd you call it on the way here? Said it's a real here in Montana.
It's a
Super soaker.
soaker. It's a real soaker.
I'll tell you what it was for a while.
What's that?
It was a gully washer.
Oh, the old gully washer.
You can't beat a gully washer.
Not with the big stick.
No. Anyway, it's hard to, I had somebody say to me not long ago, wow, you must have quite the network of people you get to meet on the road. It's fun. We do meet a lot of people, but there's a difference between meeting fans and doing meet and greets and, hey, thanks for coming. But the people we're with all the time, I'm with you guys more than my family.
right. Same. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. People, I think, have a vision of what the road, whether it's rodeo or PBR. We are in a different situation, not like rodeo where you get there, who's the announcer, where do I park, who's the music guy.
Right.
This is like a concert tour a little bit, isn't it?
We figured it up a couple of years ago, and RW and I had spent more time together than he and his wife. Calculated the days. Like, when we were doing the Velocity Tour, we were together almost every weekend. And when he ran the numbers, he and I had spent more time together on the road than he had been around.
And that's funny because I've spent more time with his wife than he has.
It's weird, yeah. So it balances out.
Well,
yeah.
And for me too, like we all have friends back home, obviously people that we grew up with.
Speak for yourself.
And hang out with. But I talk to you guys more than I talk to like my close friends.
Yeah, because we call each other in the middle of the week. When you get in there, where you're staying, you got a car.
Yeah. Brad called me yesterday.
Like 3 times.
And about 15 minutes in, I wanted to say, hey, what'd you need? But I didn't. And so then it was, okay.
Because most of the time we don't need anything.
Right.
Like,
And
there's
it's funny
times
how
where
we always like disclose that too. Like, oh, I didn't need nothing. I was just calling to see what you're doing.
Those are the best phone calls.
I love them.
Like,
they're genuine.
You know, irregardless,
Getting all over me.
irregardless of the reason for the phone call, you guys are the most genuine guys I know, and
Man, I'd appreciate you saying that.
I'd
about all of us.
appreciate you guys. And as we talk, you're in fluctuation.
Yeah, but whether you've got good in fluctuation or not, it's irregardless. It really is.
Irregardless. Do it.
Guys, you're killing me.
Do it.
It's without regard. It's regardless.
That'll make him mad.
No,
Why are you looking at me like you're my
because you guys
teacher?
keep-
I know this.
Richard,
And people need to realize that a bunch of men getting together, we all revert back to about 8th grade.
Yeah, that's right.
We
Richard will go.
and a lot of things today are inside baseball, but it's the stuff everybody has a trait that we know. Now, I'll tell you, the only reason I don't have Clint Atkins here is because I've done a podcast with Clint.
Right.
But Clint, okay, so we know if Clint came, it'd be say play right here and point
That's right.
and do this. With Nard, he's going to imitate everybody. Matt, you're going to lift weights. And Richard hates and I'm with you, bad grammar and the weird words.
Same. We all do.
Okay, and I'll just really quick. My grandfather, I was raised with my pops, and he was his adamant on how you spoke. And you're judged by your appearance first and your speech second. When you meet strangers, my trouble is half the country thinks we're dumb hillbillies anyway, and we're not.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, then you stick some irregardless out there. I know better. No, what do you mean you
Right.
know?
I'll tell you what, even myself, and I know you're pretty particular about it in your announcing. Rodeo announcers or PBR announcers, this bull hasn't been rode.
Oh.
This bull hasn't been rode in 6 outs. It's ridden.
It's written.
I know one of our videos drives you crazy. We ain't going nowhere.
So where are we going? Because we're not going to nowhere.
We're going somewhere.
Yeah. How about we're not going anywhere?
Yeah. But it fits the style of the video. If that, I know it's wrong.
This video is in your face stuff, and
Yeah.
we're going to end it with horrible grammar.
Well, yeah. But can you imagine that voice, though, in that video going,
We are not going to go anywhere.
it's,
No, it doesn't.
I know. You
We're
shake
not
your head.
going anywhere.
I
There's
know.
plenty.
I know. Well, I know.
your
Yeah,
point-
I guess I'm the grammar guy. Sorry.
To your point, though, like you talk about seeing somebody first, Jerome Robinson was the epitome of that because he always made a big deal about going to the airport. Like when he went to the airport, he was dressed like
Absolutely.
Sunday morning, go to church. He grew up in that generation because,
Right.
you know, that's the first thing somebody's going to see is how you're dressed. I mean, there's a good chance we all wear pajamas and Crocs to the airport
Hey,
some days.
To this day, I dress pretty nice to fly.
I try
So do
to. Try to.
I think we, I'll tell you, I remember years ago, it was like my first year doing pro rodeos. I was in Glasgow, Montana, and all these rodeos would hire another clown because they didn't trust
Really?
that I was going to do a good job. We're in Glasgow, and my brother Will's announcing I'm there, and Steve Tomac is there. And a great clown for the senator from North Dakota. And he came, I'm coming to get you guys. We'll go have breakfast. And I got dressed, and Will came out in shorts and a ball cap and greasy hair. Hard to believe, right? And Tomac said, you're a professional now. Go put on some damn clothes.
Oh, good
Get
man.
dressed. And made him, and that's true. I feel that way flying. We're on tour, basically. Now, I don't wear a suit, but I dress pretty much how I'm dressed now.
Right.
With a hat. I think it's important to represent what we do. And I remember I didn't like wearing my cowboy hat on the plane, which it's a pain.
It is a pain.
But Adriano Marias one time in the airport said, "Where's your hat?" I didn't even bring a hat. Be proud of what we are representing.
That's right.
Adriano
That's very
told
true.
me.
Yeah.
That's an important thing. So,
Yeah, that's something you taught me too. Is like wherever you go, you might meet somebody who's not a fan, and if you have an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody, being brought up by a hat or something, we may have a chance here to make a fan.
Well, a fan or sell some tickets.
Or sell some tickets.
Like when we're at a hotel and we walk across the street to a restaurant or something, and all of us walk in with cowboy hats on. Oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, we have a bull riding. And I know we've met them at the bull riding later that night. I think we sell tickets that way. I really do.
Well, and it's twofold. One, not only that people recognize, but we all represent different brands. Like we're all Wrangler guys. We represent them 365 days a year. But at the same time, we're representing our own brand. And that's something that's been driven into my brain that no matter where we are, what we're doing, like you're representing yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a bum.
No, it feels, you look good, you play good. My
That's
mom
right.
taught me that.
Look good, you feel good, you play good.
You know, on game days in high school, and you had a basketball game or football, you had to dress up.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Had to wear the
and
tie.
you're like, oh, we're going to dress up. Well, look, think about how good you felt all day.
Oh yeah,
Like, I took a shower today. It's weird. I know.
I feel good. Yeah.
Okay, so who brought up Jerome Robinson? You guys did. It was a weird year. The fact you bring that up, that we're all sitting together and we lose Jerome Robinson. Isn't it weird? So Jerome Robinson, who I'd never in the last 20 years, I haven't known his title. Like I'll have rodeo people say, well, Jerome Robinson runs the PBR, doesn't he? Well, no, but maybe.
But yeah, kind of.
Matt, well, so what's his title? I don't know. But Jerome.
Yeah.
That was his
Jerome,
title.
Exactly.
You go to an arena. We were in Tulsa, and an arena guy stopped me. Said, "Hey, really sad about Jerome." He said, "Whenever we needed anything, we just talked to Jerome." That's a guy in the arena. Everybody's got a Jerome Robinson story of some point where he stepped in and affected your career,
Right.
somehow. Who has one off the top of their head?
He was the first guy. So I got a call to go do my very first PBR in January of 2007. And right before that, Jerome Robinson called me and he said, "Matt, Jerome Robinson here," which we all know that was his way. And he said, "I want you to come do a couple of bull rides." I'll never forget the first time he called me and said, "I want you to go to these bull ridings." But then the big impact that he had on me kind of secondhand was I was in Indianapolis, Indiana. They had just built Conseco Fieldhouse, or wherever the Pacers play now, whatever it's called. And I'll never forget, I took an elevator up because I like to go walk the concourse. And as I get off the elevator in the main entrance, I'm walking and I hear this lady go, "Cowboy." "Yes, ma'am." Turned around, and it was a lady just sitting at the elevator, an elevator attendant. And she goes, "Hey, is Mr. Jerome Robinson here this weekend?" And I said, "No, ma'am. But how'd you know Jerome?" "Well, I met him in 2001, and we were at such," and she had a Jerome Robinson story. And I thought, holy cow, this is just some random elevator attendant at an arena in Indianapolis, Indiana, and she has a Jerome Robinson story.
Because
And
to
that
him,
stuck
she
with me.
wasn't random.
Bingo.
Right.
She was an important person. And I still to this day try to go out of my way to speak to everybody we come in contact with.
Absolutely.
Everybody. Like that's important to me. And it comes from him.
I've actually gotten better about it. I'm never rude to any, but I've gotten better to say hello, and I get that from you, being around you, and now I've make sure they know we appreciate them.
Absolutely.
Never leave a building without telling security
Jerome
thank you.
always treated everybody with class, mainly treated me with class and respect, and I always thought that was really cool about him. I mean,
Yeah.
I could go on with Jerome stories for
Oh my
this
gosh,
whole
yeah.
podcast, but he was a man that truly deserved respect.
Yeah. What about you? Because you're in the scheme. Somebody asked me the other day if Brad Narducci was just born a cuddly grandpa. Because Brad, you seem 45 years old to me.
Yeah, I'm an old soul. So I'm 31. I came in the game a little later. Than
you really?
Guys. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think you were 30 yet.
Oh yeah, I lied about my age. I tell everybody's like, "How old are you?" I'm like 26. They're like, "Wow, you've been
Jerome
around."
Robinson did the same thing.
Hey, you know
no
what?
idea.
I said this may sound cold, but I said the one good thing about Jerome Robinson dying is now I know how old he
How
is.
old he is, because he was always going to be 80 in October.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
Or 70
for a
in
long time,
October,
it's
yeah.
65.
Yep.
Well, I'll be 70 in October.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be 80 in October. And his birthday is in October. Was in October, but
He listened to shows. He was critical of everybody
gosh.
from announcer. He would mark down I'd walk by him and he'd go, "He said, 'Ladies and gentlemen,' 23 times."
Yep.
And music guy, I know he appreciated certain music guys, and didn't on other. He always told me he really liked Chuck Lopeman, who we all like Chuck Lopeman.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
and Mark Stevenson. He appreciated the timing. He was big into timing.
Mm-hmm.
Did he step in? Did you have much interaction with Jerome since you're pretty new?
I mean, a little bit, like, in passing. He never critiqued my music at all, really, which is kind of like one of the things I really wanted him to do, just because he'd been around so many guys and he'd heard the greatest that there was. But the one story that sticks out in my mind with him is we were in Nampa 2 years ago, and I was mixing. I think you were calling the show, You might have been there, Flint. I think. I don't know. We're at front of house, and it's they're doing the draft. They're doing the draft, and he has a blank sheet of paper with the guys on them, and they're up there picking bulls. And he says, "Hey, can I borrow some of your tables?" Yeah, come on, Jerome. So he's sitting there, and the guy would go up. He'd pick a bull, and instead of writing the bull's name, he would write their number and delivery.
Yeah.
And I kind of glanced over.
So
and went,
we just could see the name.
Right.
So he's writing H9
yeah,
right-hander.
And so Derek Kolbaba, I'll take Bruiser instead of writing Bruiser. He's 68X, whatever, left-hand delivery. And by about the fourth one, I said, "Do you know all of their numbers?" He said, "Every bull back there, I know their number and I know their delivery, and I'll tell you what chute they're coming out of." And I went, "Whoa!" Like that's how forward-thinking, how smart that man was. Yeah. Like that's how much he loved bull riding. I love bull riding, but I couldn't tell you one of those bulls' number.
Yeah, I remember we talk about, hey, such and such said in 78 at Cheyenne that he blah, 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 and he'd go, I remember that. There was a Saturday afternoon, I was on a big black-white-faced bull that Harry Vold owned, and I had 78 points, but Denny Flynn had, I've never heard anything like that.
It's
ever.
incredible.
Incredible. Yeah. So when we did lose him, we had Denver Stock Show velocity event that next day. So I did his job there, set the buck order and ran the fronts a little bit with Leon. But setting the buck order, man, I was sweating. And he was always so cool. Yeah. I was in that office for 2 hours before, and I'm counting. All right, there's only 2 laps, 3 laps. Load this one for, I had 3 pages of notes trying to get them all figured out, and it was just so easy for him. It was so
last year on his birthday in October, we were in Manchester, New Hampshire, and we were down in that little hotel lobby right there, and it was his birthday, and he was coming out of the elevators, and I started talking to him, and I said, "Jerome, you know what I've realized?" I said, "In all the years we've known each other, we don't have any pictures together." And he said, "Well, we can fix that right now. Justin, take our picture." And Justin Flisco took our picture, and I posted it on his birthday, and it's weird how certain things happen, and it's just one of those moments like I'll never forget.
I think I have 1 or 2 unintentional. I think you might have taken one. We were looking at an old picture.
And Jake.
Yeah,
we
there's one.
Room.
I'm laughing with him in front of the chutes, which was an Andy Watson.
Yep.
Anyway,
I always knew a great place to go eat dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he loved rice pudding. Wasn't it rice pudding? He always needed to have rice pudding. Anyway, speaking of critiquing, you said he never critiqued you. And for people watching, the really a reason I wanted to have all you guys here is because I don't know that people realize everybody, like on a basketball floor, every guy has a place they're supposed to be at a certain moment in the game. Football game, same way. With us, it's the same. We all have our role. And we need, I don't know, I think young guys in the business, maybe more than anything, and new guys, don't always understand the role. Let me start with you guys, because you're both great music director. I just say music guy. Music guys, and there's great ones in rodeo. There's great ones in PBR. What is your opinion of the person playing music, so people know what I'm talking about, at a bull riding or rodeo? What's your role?
I would say probably to be the assist man, not to steal what you've taught me, but Richard taught me this when I first came in. Music guys are simply the assist men. I'm here to assist you. I'm here to assist you. And most of all, I'm there to assist the people. So like my music approach is very simple, very simple. I'm going to play from the seats. And what I mean by that is I'm going to look at the crowd, I'm going to scan, and I'm going to try to appease as many of those people as I can. Now, it's impossible, right? Like, it's impossible to play something that everybody likes. But my biggest goal is to do everything that I can to make sure that you have everything you need, and those people have as much fun as they possibly can. So my approach is real simple.
You guys are a lot alike in your philosophies,
We
right?
do, and I'll go right back to your basketball analogy. I always thought the music guys should be like Scottie Pippen. Just keep setting Jordan up for those big ones. Now, every once in a while, the lanes is open, and Pippen took it and slam dunked one in there. I'm not saying you always give it away. But you are there as an assist man. You're there to dictate the emotion of the crowd. Yeah. You're there to dictate the character of the show, I'll put it that way. And taken from him, I try to do it like I'm watching. One thing about me is I'm still a huge fan of our sport. Mm-hmm. I still want to see Austin Richardson, ride Whoopah going to the right. I still get excited. Everything I have gets vested in that 2.5 hours for 3.5 hours from the start of the walk-in, where I want to I want to set the mood where I want people to come in with their families, go get a hot dog, what are we going to listen to there? I try to build that up to a starting point, and then
good point though. From the moment we talk about doors, there's terms we use that I don't think people outside. I'll say something, hey, doors are at what, and people are like, huh? From the moment of doors, the show, in essence, we're building, just like you just said, the mood of our night starts when those doors are unlocked.
Yep.
Correct?
correct.
Yep.
And
As soon as somebody walks in, their very first impression sets their mood for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Brought up a good point. You brought up, and the different music people have different styles. And we have had great music people in our lifetime. I brought up Chuck Lotman, Mark Stevenson. Benji has been strong in the PRCA forever, and Jill and Hambo. I mean, you can name them, and everybody's got a different take. I do feel like I don't want, if I'm working with a music guy, I don't want him to do my job. Right. Like I've had some that beat me. Like I'll say a line and they'll play a song and I'm like, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
I'm not. And I think we have an understanding of that. Like now, I'll look at you guys, and people watching on YouTube can see this and just go,
Yep.
I'll even say it out loud. Richard, whatever you want. Bradley, just hit me with something.
Right.
Because I love the spontaneity of that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a must. Because everything in this sport, and I'll go to you on that, everything in rodeo and everything in bull riding, we can only script the opening and what's going to be in the commercial breaks. Everything else is off the cuff. It has to be.
It has to be. You have to live in that moment. You have to be. You can't be linear in how you think and do things, because what happens when everything falls apart? Those are the things.
Never happens.
Yeah, I know,
Matt.
right? It's weird, but and you guys, this, especially those are the times that I live for, because you can't be prepared. You just have to be ready. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about the difference between reacting and responding. A lot of people will just react with emotion.
Good.
You have to be prepared to respond for whatever life throws your way, and I love that. I love that thought process.
I like that. I'm going to use that. We've had some wrecks in the last few weeks.
Ooh.
Sioux Falls, we had a power flash, and everything went off.
That was
and the
crazy.
sound came back on, and that saved us. We'd have been okay. Now, and I have said, somebody came to me and said, that's why we have you. How about that? Earned your money. Really? The crowd would have not thought none less of us if we'd have said, we got to get everything fixed. Everybody just hang tight. But we choose to not do that.
Correct.
What I loved about that situation is, soon as the lights came back on, you came right to the fence and you said, do we have sound? And I said, no, not yet. And I could see your mind was going, what can I do? And you got up on the shark cage and you had everybody clapping, and you started dancing to them clapping for 4 or 5 minutes.
I love those moments.
That was
Same.
awesome.
Same. It's
I
when you
love
have to work. You have to go back to the very beginning, and it's like, what's going to work? What can I do here to make this moment better for the people that paid to be here?
Yeah.
Whether that's a sad moment, whether a guy gets hurt in the arena or the power goes out, whatever it is, you've got to be prepared to figure it out.
We talked before we went on the air. We get this how many hundreds of times from fans, but the crazy thing is we get it from people we work with for. Hey, man, we want your playlist. Even we've had bosses say, pick up your playlist from PBR. No, hell, how many times have I got to a show and said, hey, I will tell you what I want. I remember we did it in Cheyenne. Hey, Mamma Mia, ABBA. That the musical was big at that time, and we've used it ever since. And that was pre-show.
Right.
There's no list. Explain to people.
Us walking to the arena in Milwaukee, just singing the song we had heard in the lobby, and it's become one of the biggest things we do.
We're walking down the street in Milwaukee in a snowstorm, and we did Laverne and Shirley. Well, no, that was the day before.
Yep.
I think-
and that
day
day
before.
we go
But,
straight.
and one of us started saying, "You are My fire, the one desire. Do we keep going?
We're like the Backstreet Boys.
When I say
I want it that way.
tell me what. Hey, that
Ain't
was good.
nothing
That's
but
you ain't gonna hear that on other podcasts. All of a sudden, I'm like, well, not I. We like, you know, I wonder if the crowd they would sing to that.
Four grown ass men are doing it.
Yeah, I know. And I'll look up and they're 60-year-old guys. Tell me why. But it happens. So the list thing, people got to understand that, right, Rich?
So much so. And I mean, of course, we have the program reviews. We have pages built in there with our music list on them. There's pages built in there that we've built at home, hours and hours and hours.
You'll have Flint stuff. You have a title.
So
of,
I can find it a little faster,
Yeah.
remember. But I have no playlist, and I know you don't either. I don't know what I'm going to play until I get there, and I'm going to play I'm going to play something different in Billings, Montana than maybe I played at the Staples Center.
completely.
You know, because there's a different demographic there.
Yeah.
Me
when
too,
we're
yeah.
at the Crypto.com Center, we were there on Tuesday. We had the Vaqueros there. Mm-hmm. I played a lot of Mexican music right there, and it was great. I may not play a lot of Mexican music in Billings, Montana.
Probably not.
Venture, no.
But you kind of have to, you play to your audience, you play to your crowd. And it depends on what's going on in there.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we all know, you'll have a show that is not just really gangbusters, and you can try to keep throwing it at them, and that's wrong sometimes.
So what I love about
You got to roll with your show.
Yeah, true.
and because we'll get to some moments towards the end of the show, and these guys will look and they'll go, "Hey, I'm going to bring you something here." Okay, and then feel the moment. It's going to be really dramatic, and then they'll come in with something that kind of is real slow in a build, and it's like you can help tell those stories with what they're laying down. We just add lyrics to it.
Then there's a switch in there.
Yep.
Where you'll start them in, like I'll just tell them, I'm going to crawl underneath you on this one. Say it be Derek Kolbaba in Tacoma, Washington. I'm going to crawl in on this one. And then he'll start going. There'll be a switch for a little kind of different style. And then Clint will start talking. I'm liable to switch again. I'm going to, and you're just dancing.
It's all off feeling, though. Like, we've worked together so much that everything we do is just off that feel.
You know, we used to love, and I tell him, Brandon Bates would call for that switch.
Yeah.
You know, remember when he used to start pacing back and forth, and he'd go, like, give me that. Well, to me, the first couple times that made me nervous. Then I was all, holy crap, I crave this. You know what I mean? Come on. So then you get to watching your announcers and the bucket shoots and the crowd and you and where you're going to go and where. Again, I'm still a fan.
Absolutely.
And all that ties to what I'm going to say here is the one thing. This is why this is going to be good. No, I'm joking.
We'll get back to that in a minute.
I'll go to rodeo stuff. I recently was in Clovis, California at a touring pro, so I was around a lot of rodeo friends. And rodeo people, not rodeo people like it's a different demographic, but that just where we work. A lot of times has happened. You guys, you work in the same exact arena. Our arena's the same, with the same guys every week. I couldn't do that. I like rodeo and wear all these things. And to me, it's like working with the same band. That's why I love what I do now, is because it's like working with the same band. It creates a consistency in an inconsistent lifestyle that we lead in with travel.
Yeah.
But when I walk out there, I know when I look back there, it's going to be one of you sitting there, you and Clint or you and Scott. You know, there's a band that rotates in and out. And I think that's why we do the best show.
Absolutely.
I think in the Western sports world, I can say, and I'm a huge rodeo fan, which we'll get to, but I do think in the Western sports world, we set a standard for the show we do every single week.
Right.
And when you're in one of those bands, we all have friends in music. When you play one of those hits and you know that it hits the crowd right, it feels good. And I think we all get it goes back to what you said at the beginning. For 2.5, 3 hours in a night, we're putting everything we got into it. So we need to leave there exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
But man, it feels good when you play those hits.
And there's so many things that are great that are not on the clandestine. We don't sneak them in there, but you'll get a great dirty hold on a song.
Yeah.
Meaning you won't necessarily switch when that gate opens because he's nodded his head at an opportune time in the song.
Right.
And then I've gone forward where I want the hit to be at 8 seconds. And then
The change of beat. When the beat
everybody
drops or the
doesn't
tempo changes.
realize what you're trying to do.
What do I do when you do that?
You always point. Yep.
Behind me. Point. I just brought up our rodeo friends, and we all come from rodeo
Absolutely.
and still go to rodeo. Don't you guys wish, or you wish with me sometimes that I wish our friends and people we work with in rodeo know that we don't talk about rodeo all the time. I'll hear like, oh, you PBR guys, you're doing this. Why are you talking about? We are rodeo. Let's get this out. I'm a rodeo fan. I still go to the NFR. I come from rodeo. We just are presenting our product in a different way and a different venue. Bull riding comes from rodeo, but we are selling it in a different way, but we're all rodeo fans.
There's a reason that when you and I go to Pendleton, we'll go set all afternoon and watch the slack.
Yeah.
We'll go set and watch the rodeo. When we go to Cheyenne, we'll all go in early and we'll watch the performance because we're still fans of it. We love it.
Yeah.
It's just life took us a different path.
I'm not sure where the animosity ever came from, and if it was manufactured.
Yeah.
Because I'm absolutely a fan of rodeo.
Absolutely.
I mean, absolutely.
I think the NFR is the greatest Western sports event in the world.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't understand where that came from.
and-
You get just a couple PBR guys.
Huh?
Okay.
I
I'm a
like,
rodeo guy too,
hey,
yeah.
look, like somebody like Josh Frost this week. Now, as this airs, it will have happened. But, there's guys. One of our guys went and did good in the PBR. One of your.
He's a bull rider.
He's a bull rider. And some people ask me, you guys, how you think Sage Kimsey would do? Look, I'm a Sage Kimsey fan. He's one of the
great.
greatest
He's a
bull
great
riders.
bull rider.
Yeah, great bull rider. Whatever. I
I
don't
want him
think
to go
about
win
it.
10 PRCA titles.
And when I'm around rodeo guys, bulldoggers, I have a lot of bulldogger friends, calf ropers. How's PBR? They're fans too.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't come. Let's get that straight.
Absolutely.
For the most part, cowboys. No. There's somebody in a sport coat that just has a boner for the PBR.
That's true.
And so I'm getting that. I'll say it. My name's on the sign here. I can say whatever.
Damn right. Go ahead.
No, it really is.
But I just think it's important for people to know there's nothing. The PBR is on TV every single week, and if people are watching PBR on TV every single week and the rodeo comes to town, you don't think they want to go to the rodeo?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
But they're different products. Rodeo, I've always said, is about queens and clowns and balloons and parades, and we're about a sport.
Yes.
I don't know.
We're selling a different package.
Selling we're packaging it different. Yes. I think we present it different. I think we emphasize different things in the arena. Our announcers are encouraged to talk about what's in front of you.
Right.
But I don't want some bullshit story about
We can say
this.
shit.
Yeah, a little bit. I think so.
All right.
Here's the thing.
Wow.
I've been uptight.
It's country music and it's rock and roll music.
That's exactly-
They're all still music.
Yep.
They're just played to a different beat. We play ours to a little different beat. We do things different. We sell something that is completely different. We have more bells and whistles, and our tempo is different. If I go announce a rodeo like I did the American, we've all done the American. When we go do it, it changes the way we do our job because it's a different feel to a degree.
But still a hit.
It's still a hit.
Still a hit.
a hit.
Just going back to what I said, you play to your crowd.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Is what you do. You play to the. You can't, as a music guy, you can't sell the breakaway roping like you played the same as you do at a bull riding. Now you can still build drama and you can still build excitement and you can, but there's a different. It's just different, but it's not.
Sometimes music guys and announcers will take the team roping off. They'll just go, okay, we'll just get through the team roping. We'll move on to whatever's next. So we'll just kind of slide through this. We'll say some names and some times and
I
get
love
ready
the
for the
team
next
roping.
event.
I love
if it's
mixing the
good,
team roping.
why
Oh,
waste it?
it's so good.
Why waste any part of the show?
See, and I love going to rodeo too.
What is he, Clint Atkins?
What-
Just disappears in the middle of the show?
He just gets up and leaves. But he's probably eating one of those delicious.
His back hurts. You okay?
Stepped over into the green room
Stepped over in the green room. I thought you were going to pee off the deck, which we,
again.
irregardless. I gave you the good stool with the back on it. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a good topic. That was one of the things I wanted. I think it's important for people to know.
And as a music guy too, and you could probably attest to this, and so would you. I love rodeo because I love the pace, right? I always talk about the pace, and my favorite announcer to work a rodeo with is Will. Because in the bareback ride, when he gets rolling, and we're riding him, and we're rolling and rocking, it's fun. It is fun.
I'll give of all the announcers out there, I mean, of his age, Will's 60 years old, or 61. He doesn't seem like it. He has a love for music.
He does so much.
We have a background in music. It was a big part of our family, and so he appreciates that. Not all announcers, and that's fine, understand music.
Right.
Will understands music, and it touches an emotion in everyone, and he gets that. And then he says, Bradley, I freaking love this song.
But if you're an announcer and you don't understand music, shame on you, because it's a part of the show. It's a part of the product that we put out there. And I don't care what the letters, I don't care if it's PRCA, if it's NRA, if it's PBR, if it's WCR, it doesn't matter. If you have a music person there, it's a part of the show. And if you can't work together and give the fans the best product, then you're doing it wrong.
Amen.
But at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with what we like, guys.
Right,
we all like different things. It has nothing to do with what we like. It's how can we best satisfy the people that paid to come see this.
I've had fans message me on social media and say, hey, don't you think it's time for a change? I mean, Jack and Diane forever. What about why are you playing 80 stuff? Well, because the people in the seats aren't there every week.
Because it works.
There's 10,000 people singing along.
Music.
Shut up and change the channel if you want to.
Music is timeless. Why do you think like those infomercials when they're selling 1,000 CDs? What do they call them? Timeless classics, right? Because
that's me.
You know what
I'm a timeless classic. Yeah.
But it works. Like AC, You Shook Me All Night Long is going to work in Billings, Montana. It's going to work in New York. It's going to work in California.
It'll work in Canada and Mexico too. I know.
He would know.
You know what else works in Mexico? Billie Jean.
Yes,
Oh, really?
Michael Jackson is timeless, no matter the language.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's
And none of it works in Tulsa. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We've mentioned in everything topic we've talked about here, we talk about we're fans. You got to be a fan. I always think, like, I'll go to a rodeo with my girls, and I always leave before the bull ride. I never watch the bull ride. People are like, "Oh, I thought you'd stay here and watch it." I've seen it on TV. But I think what's happened to me is I've spent the last 15 years or 20-some years watching the best bull riders in the world every week.
Right.
And so I should watch young guys, and I just don't. So in some sense, we all have a passion for what we're watching. I know you really do in your announcing. You're a big fan. This year, our season adjusted. Everybody says, God, half the season you had before. Actually, we're only about 5 events short from the second half.
Travel with us.
Yeah.
Jump on the plane.
But right now, PBR, this will be leading into the PBR World Finals as we speak right now. Who are you a big fan of?
Joao Ricardo Vieira. He's a timeless classic.
Amen.
Wow.
He's 37.
Yeah.
And he's the #1 bull rider in the world. And I've said this, I'm on record as saying, as much as I love the other 34 guys, I want Joao to win because he's a good human. And he has tried his ass off since 2013 to win this world title. I hope he does.
Pick a guy. Who you-
JRV all day.
Okay.
Because
I
he's a
wanna see him
timeless
win.
classic.
He's a timeless
So
classic.
I'm going to do this.
And
I'm
that
gonna-
guy, he's my friend.
I'm gonna say you can't use the one he is. Not who do you want to win. Pick a new guy, maybe that who you fan of. We can't repeat. We can't. He picked first.
I like Mauricio too.
Oh,
He's going to be a star.
He's awesome. He's so cool. Yeah, Mauricio. He just wanted the best song from America when he's in the bucket.
And then
That's what he said.
he says, I want like the best song in America. And then he sent me one, and he sent me the back.
It's horrible.
Yeah, but he loves it.
He loves
even
it.
says, it made my blood
What?
boil. I sent it to you.
It's slow.
Yeah, I can't even think the name of it right now.
Oh, isn't it Wiz Khalifa?
No.
See
That's Adriano Saldago.
remember when one of them about 3 years ago came and he said, "I just have this new song I want you to play," and it was like a Bryan Adams song or something.
Cuts like a knife.
Yeah.
So you're going with Mauricio.
Mauricio
I like
Moreira.
Mauricio.
Hey, how about this? 2 for 2. Here's another image thing. The Brazilian riders.
Oh, yeah.
We don't even think about it anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
What about you?
Jose Vitor is the best bull rider I've ever seen in my life. And the way the point structure is at the PBR World Finals. Yeah. Believe me, I want JRV to win because I think that guy is classy. Yeah. I think he's a great bull rider. I think but
Jose's going to win.
If I'm going to put money on it,
maybe
Jose's
if I had to if somebody said, you have to bet $5,000 today.
Okay, but hold on. You can't pick my guy.
Hang on.
No, but I'm agreeing with you. I said if I was going to put money, I'd have to put it on him.
Me too.
Let me throw something else at you, though, because
I don't believe you.
the PBR finals, best
Right
bulls in
now.
the world, right? Round winning type bulls.
Maybe.
You've got to be able to like win rounds. Who's won more rounds? Kaiki Pacheco.
He might be the dark horse.
But
sleeper.
okay,
That
but
horse
think
isn't
about
very
it.
dark.
Yeah,
He's a great bull rider.
But think about it.
Yes.
He missed so much of the first part of the season because he had COVID, he had a shoulder surgery,
Yep.
and he's still one of the top 4 guys in the world. Points in Fort Worth, plus round wins that he's done already. Like
It could, yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Kaiki.
That's the thing at the World Finals.
Now
is
I'm ready to go to work.
It's anybody's ball game.
You gotta ride bulls that no one else can ride. Like the 8 rounds we're gonna see at the PBR World Finals. There is no comparison. The bulls those guys will get on every day, like just so fans know, and guys would agree, compared to like the NFR.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I call it, you know what they are? People say, are those bulls at PBR that good? And I say, those guys get on a dick slammer every single
Oh
one.
yeah. It's unbelievable.
It's
I was worried about saying shit. Wow.
He busted down Dick
But that's the
Slammer.
only way I can describe it.
The old DS, he said.
And in
DS.
my opinion, I believe Kaiki can ride a bunch, but if Kaiki and Jose get on the same one,
Yeah.
Jose looks better every time.
is 2 points higher than
He's
him.
the Chris Shivers times 5 of our generation.
And me saying that I think Jose is the greatest bull rider I've ever seen, that's just my opinion. I don't need any negative stuff. That is a terrible argument I've been into. I mean, the right answer to the greatest bull rider ever was Jim Sharp. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, Jose really knows how to dress up them 24-pointers.
You know what's funny? Is 3 years ago, we were screwing the Brazilians. They look at that, giving JB Mooney's that much more point. Oh, look at that. Jess Lockwood making sure he wins. Cooper Davis.
It's always something.
All of a sudden, Jose wins the world title. Look at the judges making sure he gets just enough points to win. What are we doing? Who are we screwing this week? You know, like that could go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I know.
Isn't that funny perception? And that's what social media has done. It gets given people an outlet to display their ignorance.
It's giving them a platform to speak without having to look somebody in the eye.
Or get punched in
Mike
the
Tyson.
face.
Mike Tyson
Yep,
said it
that's where I
best.
was
It
going.
has given people a platform to talk crap without the fear of getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
You
That guy on
saw
the
what
plane-
happened on the plane.
That guy on the plane's got
Oh,
the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got it. He had it coming. Okay, so who am I a fan of? Like, I'm not going to go, like, I always talk, and Logan's sitting here, people who have listened to my shows, I always say when somebody's good for business. Jess Lockwood was really good for business because he smiled and everybody liked him. Cooper Davis. JB Mooney, I've never in my career, which started quite longer ago than we're close.
In like the 60s.
I've never seen a rider as good for business and fans as passionate as JB Mooney.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I thought it was funny last year when he went rodeo and people, how about you guys? People come up. Okay. I'd go to a rodeo somewhere. Give us the real scoop.
What happened?
What happened? What did PBR do to JB Mooney that he went to rodeo? And I said, bucked him off of every bull. I mean, with all due respect to JB, because he's a good friend.
Right.
He was not riding any bulls and his body was beat up. He rode himself healthy.
That's right.
Rodeo.
Absolutely.
And I talked to him this week. There's another big difference about it goes back to what you were talking about. We're in the same arenas every weekend with the same group of people every weekend. We're always inside. And it's like when you go to Vegas and you never see the sunshine, it's not a lot of fun. Every once in a while, you need to get out and see the sunshine. For JB, going and rodeoing and being in an RV with the family and going to the outdoor events and going, a different arena crew every weekend, like that's fun. I would love to do that someday, in the forever away from now.
But I didn't at the NFR. At the NFR, when it was JB's turn to ride, and they hit Bad to the Bone, I didn't see any of those guys going, don't play that song, that's a PBR song. I didn't see that.
Yeah, and
No, of
here's
course
a
not.
rookie.
You know, you're welcome.
Yep, yep.
I think the PBR not, but JB established. I'd like when they say he's a $7 million bull rider. Well, he didn't win those
What
at
association?
jackpots.
Yeah, what association?
And that's okay. But
I saw
But I'm proud to say that Cody Teal is a PRCA world
yeah.
champion bull
Sure.
rider.
And you should every time because he deserves it.
It's part of his resume. He worked his ass off to get it.
Same
Good
with
for
Shane
him.
Proctor was here.
Yeah.
yeah.
possibly the nicest person in the world.
He's just him and Derek Kolbaba are like my two favorite guys. Just to hang
I
out.
will tell you, and
Really?
you guys all get
Really?
it.
Well, I mean, bull riders.
Oh, okay.
You
I
guys
hear
are
all
my
the
three.
time, hey, what's that guy like? I don't know. I don't ever hang out with them. I could hang out with Cody Teal because
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Hey.
and that Mason Taylor, I like that kid.
Yeah.
Just to be around him and just because
That's-
most of them we don't hang out with them.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Because fans all the time will say, well, fans want us to be in the world they're in a little bit. Good. That's not a cut. It's, hey,
Right.
which guys do you hang out
We're
with?
on the inside.
You guys, what's such and such right? Do you go hang out with those bull riders? You all go out together? No, they could date my daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
I'm
I
50
have
years old.
nothing in common, but I can hang out with Cody Teal and Derek Kolbaba seems like he's
Kolbaba's
45 years
he's
old.
so cool.
There's those guys that have been around a little longer, but
JRV.
JRV,
cool.
yeah.
Racio's cool. Yeah.
But as far as let's go to lunch, there's only a certain.
Just a very.
Yeah.
I like JB.
Oh yeah, JB.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
He's good to be around and have, you know.
We could call him right now and he'd answer.
yeah, oh yeah.
I love hanging out with those guys, but I will not go to the bar with them.
Absolutely not.
Like I would love to just shake hands, hang out. Hey, let's grab a beer. But as far as like go to a bar,
No.
not a chance.
No.
My favorite thing is when like they'll talk to Flint and they'll talk about how hot his daughters are. You see the dad come out and him. Well, she wouldn't like you anyway. Like,
Shut up.
Yes.
Yeah, don't. No, I'll do this.
No, don't.
Oh, okay, so I'm a fan. So somebody good for business. It broke my heart when Austin Richardson broke his collarbone,
man.
and I think he's good for business. I think if those guys could grasp and understand what they could do with their lives financially and personally, if they would take advantage of their situation, who they are, if you just train, the Brazilians are good because they're here for one reason.
Yeah.
You know who gets it? And I mean, as far as like the package he presents, everything, the way he presents himself, he's got an aura about him. Clayton Sellers.
Yeah.
Clayton Sellers, he's always dressed nice, whether it's 10 o'clock in the morning, looks good. He's a good-looking kid, tries his guts out. If he puts it together.
If he starts riding more.
If he puts it
You know
together.
who else presents a nice package? Brad.
Brad.
You met my Uncle Hugh? Hugh.
Trying to think.
You're right, though.
When-
Austin's awesome.
Austin
Such a cool
Richard,
kid.
He's adorable.
He's such a
Just
cool
so
kid.
cute.
He's
I just want to
adorable.
like hold him. Like,
Do
come here,
ya?
little guy. Get in here, Austin.
Come here, you dirty.
Let's go to
You're
bed.
weird. We're on the air right now.
I don't.
I don't.
Logan, we're on
believe
right now.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
it. Hey, can we go back to the Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan conversation really
I don't
quick?
know her.
Her? I don't know her.
Because
Lanolin?
Lanolin, like sheep's wool. He goes, Audrey, look at these bags. You see this?
I love
push.
the Pendleton. It feels so good in my belly. I love the
Down
Pendleton.
into my belly.
Down into my belly. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know what I was going to say. I have no idea.
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, we're a team, but every team has the all-star. Every team has the
Thanks,
MVP.
buddy.
Not you. I literally came here today just to get this autographed.
Hey,
I got my Flint Rasmussen rookie card from 1968, I think. 1992 Funny Man of the Year from Havre, Montana.
Here.
Of the year.
Here.
Of
Okay. Look
the
at
year.
I love how the back of it's like a Tinder profile. Home, Havre, Montana, height 5'10", weight
I'm not
155.
5'10". So let me explain.
lied
first.
Really?
So bad.
Not 5'10".
Let me explain these. Northern Rodeo Association. Pizza Hut and Pepsi put these out. 1992. And I went by the NRA office the other day, and the girl called me and said, I found a bunch of these, and she gave them to me.
Please don't bend it. That's
No,
mine.
sorry. I look at that time. I got to tell you, I think about in that picture?
Charlie Too Tall West. That's who I see.
Look at the hair, man.
If you would have told me at that moment where I'd be right now, not a chance. I was just,
you were having fun.
I was in the middle of teaching school. I knew I could be okay at that job, but that is, in my opinion, the biggest downfall of young people coming into this business. I'll see a guy go clown some open and amateur rodeos for 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Think they're
ready to go.
Yep.
NRA, as of 1992, I had done NRA rodeos for like 6 years.
Oh, yeah.
5, 6 years. Because I had not instant aspirations. I didn't really care. In the meantime, I was honing my craft to be better when I decided to be a professional. There is such impatience kind of right now. Don't you feel that way?
Because it's not sexy.
Go ahead, Richard.
The work isn't sexy.
When Richard goes,
and he licks the lips, he's getting ready.
I don't know if it's impatience. I think we're living in a world of entitlement is what I think right now. And I think everybody feels like they're entitled to be at the ahead of everybody else. And now I'll be the first person to say I think the best guy's supposed to play.
Yeah.
I'm not discounting anybody's ability. Mm-hmm. But just because they're been around for a little bit, they think they deserve the best. I don't agree with that. I think we live in a world where we gave everybody a trophy as for 5th place, 4th place, and
catching up with us.
Yes, it is catching up with us. And nobody's. I'm just on my soapbox. Everybody makes their own luck. Nobody's luckier than others. Everybody makes their own luck, and what you choose to do with that luck is on you, not anybody else.
Absolutely.
Talk about you right there. Well, 2 minutes ago you said, man, I wish these young kids that are 22 years old could know how to present a package and stuff. Well, they didn't. You were a kid right there. You didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
That comes with age and maturity. And people, and some men or some people mature faster than others.
Sure.
Bob Mitchell.
Bob Mitchell.
He's 63 years old.
Physically, he matures more than others, but it's where you're going to do. I got married when I was 22 years old to a girl that had a 2-year-old. I had to mature pretty fast right there.
Right.
Yeah.
If you get if a plane's going down and you're in the back and you get up there in the cockpit, you're either going to fly that thing or you're going to crash. Mm-hmm. There's a mature and a learning curve there that is different than anywhere else. Well, here they want to be put up there in the plane and then have somebody be over their shoulders and fly it for them, and then when they get off the plane, they want to be the hero. No. It doesn't work that way. Everybody makes their own luck. Yeah. I'll just circle back to there because I could go on a whole nother hour-long tangent of how I feel.
And a lot of guys, young entertainers that come in, rodeo clowns, they want to be you right away, but they don't see stuff like this where you were 6 years in right here, and you had traveled every NRA rodeo. They just see you now and just want to be there now.
And it was great. I loved it. That's the old thing we talk about, tapping in. You tap into that guy. Yep. When I walk out in the arena tonight in Billings, it's a little easier because I see it's a familiar sight.
Right.
And that's what I've explained it on this show. The tapping in thing is tapping into that person before they made money at it, that would perform in front of 35 people and be excited. And so tap into that guy.
Yeah.
Because nobody in particular, but you said, well, some guys take the team roping off. So some guys take the weekend off.
That's right.
Yeah.
And my whole deal, and I've been blessed enough to work with some of the best in the world of rodeo, and of course all of you guys in here. But still, I kind of demand one thing: is I want everybody to care as much as me.
Yeah. We're all pretty good about the business side of anything you're going to do in life will have its frustrations. The travel obviously is tough sometimes, but we're all pretty good at holding each other accountable in the sense that halfway through this year, I get frustrated with things. And, it never fails. You'll remind me, hey, remember when we were doing this, 7-8 years ago, just wishing we could do one of these? Now we're here every weekend. Don't take it for granted.
We also have to be able to have a meeting, a conference call, and say, hey, guys, we need to get back to such and such.
Right. Yep.
And all of us go, good point.
We're honest with each
hold
other.
ourselves accountable.
That's right.
Too. And that, again, is the advantage of working with the same people every week. There is a little there's that side of it.
When fans have an expectation of the product that we're going to give them, our expectations should continue to get higher. every time we're in front of those fans.
Well, I get, and we've all been there. One thing that bothers me the most is, man, great job. Shut up. No, it wasn't.
Right.
I know I didn't have a great night. No, don't.
But you got
ask
to
me.
okay. You got to look at your audience though. Who's saying it? Is it somebody that doesn't see what we do every weekend? Because to somebody, that night's the best they've ever seen. Yep. And a lot of the younger guys that'll come around, we might think we were a little off, but it might be the best thing they've seen.
It's sort of like saying to a barrel racer, man, we used to chew our girls' asses. Hey, great run. He slipped on second. It was good. And then I got out of position on third. And, hey, how about thanks?
Yeah.
Smiles, I think.
Right.
This is not, I didn't intend for this to be a airing of grievances. But I do think, and I think anybody in the business, hopefully there's some guys that do what we do watching this and listening to it. But I'm not a believer in everybody makes the same thing. Like, I remember going to the PRCA meeting. Hey, you guys, you got to, when you get a rodeo, you got to check with the last guy and see what they made. Well, George Strait makes more than Parker McCollum. Mm-hmm. Parker's good. I picked names out of that. There's a real, I always used to tell them in the meeting, if you guys all want to make the same amount of money, go be school teachers. And that's not a slam on school teachers. That's the other way. Yeah. But I'm just not a believer. I think time and I think there's a value, create a value for yourself. I've had even good friends say, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to get undercut. Somebody else is going to steal my rodeo because they make less. Well, then they should have it.
Right.
I agree.
I can say, in my heart, I'm pretty confident I never lost a job because somebody else was cheaper. So that means one of two things: either I was the cheapest,
right? Yeah.
or that shouldn't be a worry. I don't know.
There's a lot of guys that worry about that stuff, but I've always been just a believer in that if you show up with a good attitude and you do your job the best you can, if they're going to fire you, you're going to get fired. Like, your jobs are going to come and go. You can't stress about them like everybody does nowadays. We have good friends that they'll call you, oh, man, I think I'm losing this rodeo. I think I'm losing that bull ride. Well, go find another one. It's just that simple. Just show up, have a good attitude, do the best you can do. And then whatever happens after that, that's out of your control.
I remember telling them at Calgary, guys, I've been here 20 years. If you don't want me to come anymore, tell me. Just tell me. It's okay. Yeah. I'm not going to throw a fit. Right?
Yep.
But what did do you guys remember? For people watching, the two major things you need to know about being successful in this business. Number one, work your ass off.
Try your hardest.
Mm-hmm. Number two,
don't be a douchebag.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's so right.
That's it. Really,
be humble.
That'll get you farther. He works his butt off, and he's easy to deal with, and that means a lot to people.
He tries hard, and
shows up every time. Anyway, I don't know if this all went the direction that I intend, but to me, it's interesting, and I think people watching, there's insight that people don't get normally.
Right.
Well, I think the hardest thing to understand is we do compete for the same jobs in our industry.
Yeah.
And it's how you choose to deal with that. You want to choose to be negative or you want to choose to be positive. I try to choose to be positive.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if somebody does good, hell yeah, they did good.
Yeah. I'm good friends with Matt Merritt and J.J. Harrison and Justin Rumford and I are one of my great friends. Robbie Hodges, Brinson. Brinson's a lot. It goes back to the bull rider thing. We're kind of in different generations, but and so it is. We're all. It's a friendly. It's a brotherhood we're all kind of in the same boat.
So in that brotherhood, you're worth something. You're worth something. He's worth something. You're worth whatever you can get for you and whatever you need. Back to you got to charge this. No, that's unionization. Yeah. If you all get together and say, no.
If it works for me and I'm able to feed my kids, it doesn't matter.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what's funny about that is you have to know your value, but you have to be confident enough to stick to your value.
Exactly.
And humble enough to accept that other people might not agree with you.
That's right.
Yeah. So I had a rodeo call me one time, this is years ago, and I had a place to go. I hadn't been offered it yet, but I knew I was going to get it. They called me. There's a Hall of Fame guy that was there, and they said, well, we're not having him back. Your name came up. What would it? I said, I'll call you back. So I called him. He told me what it was. I called and I said, it'd be this much a perf. Well, that's what so-and-so was getting. That's right. I'm going to do the same job. Well, he's got a resume a mile long. That's fine. My argument to them on that day was, if when this rodeo's over, you don't feel like I've done as good, if not better, rip the check up. You don't have to pay me.
He didn't get paid. That
I did. My point is, somebody took that rodeo for cheaper. Absolutely. They got it. They did a great job. They've upped the money ever since then. But I was confident enough to know that, okay, that's how I feel like it's not, you're not going to win every time, but that's how I felt.
By the way, I didn't want to leave clown names out.
Yeah, you kept going and kept going and kept going.
John Harris. I like John Harris.
I do.
I think
How
he's
do you
awesome.
not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just was thinking.
You not like Cody Sosby?
Oh, Sosby.
Let's name a
They're
couple
such
others.
good dudes.
They
Yeah.
are good dudes.
Good people. We do get to hang around good people. Like,
Absolutely.
Never ever want to discount fan. Like, there's the end of a day when you're really tired and you just don't want to talk to anybody. And that's I saw a comedian one time in an interview describe it a good way, that comedians and people that are entertainers, when they go out there, their mind does this. And for 2 hours or whatever, it's taking it all in. Actually, they were explaining why a lot of comedians are interpreted in real life as being assholes.
Right.
Like, well, an asshole. Because people expect that guy all the time. So when they're out there, their brain is doing this, and it's like taking it all in and spitting it back out. And then I know how that feels.
Absolutely.
When you walk out, you close it back up. So people want that guy all the time, but you're tired. I can't do it anymore. So you just, hey, how's it going? Oh, geez, what an ass. No, I'm just done.
I'm just tired.
And so we never want to discount the old cliche, we can't do it without the fans, but really, in the words of Brandon Bates, our friend Brandon Bates.
Oh boy.
Whatever the PBR or rodeo or whatever comes up with as far as sponsors, TV, streaming, that live show, if it goes, it all goes. None of it can happen without the people that are doing that show in the arena.
Yep.
That is the foundation of everything else.
Absolutely.
Don't forget it.
Write that down, Richard.
Write that down. I hate to quote Brandon Bates.
Man.
No, I do. We've worked with some good ones.
Yeah.
Some great ones. I mean, I'm very blessed in my
And
career.
of all the guys I've worked with, you three are three of them. So that's great.
Right. Appreciate that. That's honestly the nicest thing you've ever said to us, too.
Okay, real quick, do we just wait? People ask me, what do you think of going to Texas instead of Vegas for World Finals? And you know what I say? I'll let you know when it's over. I'll let you know when we're done. I have not kept it a secret that I feel at home in Vegas.
Absolutely.
At the end of a show, you don't have to look for a place to eat. You never feel like you're in a hotel. I have not been silent about that. But this is who we work for, and I think it could be great in Fort Worth.
We go back to 2020. We were just hoping we could have a PBR finals. And so in my mind, because I'm like you, I love Vegas. I love being able to sneak out to where we stay at the South Point and be able to go to our rooms, have casual conversations or whatever we're going to do.
I thought he was going to say something else.
But you know, I love Vegas, but I have to go back and tap into what I was thinking in like April of 2020, just hoping that I can go back to my job. And that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to do it. We don't have a say in that.
Yeah.
So.
When people ask me, oh, what do you think? Is
It's not my job
it
to
doesn't,
think.
what good does it do me? Like you said, choose to be positive.
Sure. And this is what I'll put. It's not going to be Vegas.
Nope.
But it's going to be the World Finals in Fort Worth, and I think it's going to be great.
I think it'd be awesome.
You're not going to be able to go gamble after the bull riding, but there's plenty of things
Not
to
in
do.
public.
Not in public.
Yeah,
But
we'll get
there's-
a dice game going.
Again, social media warriors. We didn't bail on Vegas. We don't hate Las Vegas.
We're
We
going
don't-
back to Vegas
Sure,
in
we're going-
November, the same weekend.
Love
Yeah,
Vegas.
we love Vegas. I think it's
I
a
think the whole
change,
town
and
knows
some
it.
people fear change, and I'm one of them. But hell yeah, I'm going to go make it the best damn finals I've ever been to. I'm going to do my best to my part on that.
Yep.
I'm excited about it.
Same.
That Dickies Arena, the sound system
Holy
in there
cow, that's a
is
beautiful arena.
phenomenal.
I've never got to work on it.
It is so good.
Wait,
Teams.
did Sad Brad?
Sad Brad. Is Billings, Montana, where Sad Brad was created?
Yes.
We're
Yeah. Sad Brad might have to make an appearance.
might have to.
So,
he would
and
love
I
that.
think the teams thing is a whole nother conversation, a whole nother podcast,
But our opinion doesn't matter. My
Doesn't-
point.
doesn't
It's
matter.
going to happen.
and we're going to
It's
work.
going to happen,
Yep.
and we're going to do
And
our
we're gonna
best
be
make
happy
it
to do it.
succeed. Yeah,
And
I mean,
it is our
damn right.
job. It is our job as parts of this team or employees of the company, whatever you look for. It is our job to present the package and sell the package
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
or the best that we can.
Absolutely.
That is part of my job.
Yep.
So I'm excited.
Same.
About it. I mean, maybe not as the same kind of excitement as, again, I don't get to go stay at the South Point for 2 weeks and, eat at the Coronado Cafe and go gamble.
Chinese food.
Oh, my
More
gosh.
wonton soup.
More wonton soup, yeah.
Lobster grilled
but I do
cheese.
get to go hang out at Northside, and I get to go.
We can go to H3 and have that sirloin steak with the cheese enchilada. That's so good.
That is delicious.
Yeah, because it'll be easy to get into on a Friday night.
Nope.
Nope.
We can go to
Yeah,
my
boy.
RV and I'll cook. But, yeah. But just, I'm excited as I can be. I can't wait till it gets started. I can't wait to be part of the first World Finals at Dickies Arena.
Same.
Be in a ring around yourself.
I think it's cool that you
As
guys.
my dad used to say, stick a feather up my rear end, we'll all be
I'll
tickled.
be tickled. That's right. I got to keep my hands in my pockets to keep me from high-fiving everybody. Yeah.
That's funny.
Listen, we could, there's no doubt we could all talk all day. Am I
doubt at
missing
all.
some? I'll go around the room. Anything you guys want to add? Just,
Let me think for a minute.
I appreciate
We're pretty stinking lucky.
we are lucky. And I've had Frank and Webster sit right here.
I want to know how you blindfolded Frank because he
to
would
get
have
him out
fought
here.
Man, I ain't wearing that thing, man. Smell
But-
that on there?
I'll tell you, I come from, my background is that, my family's great. My brothers,
Absolutely.
Will and Pete, I have a sister, but we didn't come from an affectionate family. Like you just knew. See ya.
Yeah.
Talk to Pete every other day, and it's or Will. What the hell, Freddie? But there's no love yous or hugs or none of that. And since I've been with you guys, the bullfighters, you guys, Frank Newsom walks out of the arena. I love you, man.
Cody Webster.
Shorty, Cody Webster, Lucas, all those guys. And you guys, I've never hugged people before. I mean, males. And we always, it's just, man, I appreciate you. And this job has created, it's made me a different person.
Absolutely.
I've been through rough times, and you guys are the guys that are there.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know if people realize that.
No.
It's,
We got your back. We got each other's back. And,
Quit. I'm kind of a crier, damn it.
you are a crier.
And when
You
all-
too.
I was trying to.
Yeah.
Richard and Matt cry more than my mom.
No,
Nothing.
I miss you guys all the time.
Hey.
And I think when all this shit's over, all of us should get an apartment together. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Come on.
Might start looking right now.
hey, just so it gets back to him and somebody calls him. You work with one of our friends a lot at San Antonio. Give me just a little rodeo's about to start. Randy Corley. Give
I
it.
tell you, San Antonio's, you take a look at your watch, you're going to see, oh, my gosh, I need to reset mine. Wayne, how far away? 10 minutes. Okay. Well, make your way into the grandstands and get yourself a popcorn and maybe a cotton candy. And, boy, we're about, how far, Wayne? 9 minutes now. Shal, you ready down there? Shell's time.
Michelle, yeah, his wife.
Yeah, I love Corley.
Good.
He's
Big
going to be
salute.
mad.
A big salute.
Oh, so can I tell that story?
Yeah,
real
just
quick?
because I want Corley to know.
So Corley, San Antonio's 22 perfs, and he'll get caught up on something, and he really doesn't realize it. So everything was a salute. I want to give a salute to our friends at Pendleton Whiskey. Boy, they're mighty fine. Everything's a salute. So by about the 40th salute, I would stand up and I would go. He kind of looks at me and he keeps going. And we want to give a salute to our friends at Rotel and Ranch Style Beans. And I
Stand up and salute him.
And he finally shows his mic off and he goes, what the hell are you doing? And I said, I'm giving a salute. He said, gosh, freaking idiot. And I said, hey, what? I was just trying to help you out. And I look over at Brooks, and Brooks is like bellied over laughing. He goes, damn kids, jeez, playing the music.
You ready for more bareback riding? Say yeah.
Boy, it's fun to work with those guys.
How'd you like to ride 100 of those every year to make a living? We love those guys. If we imitate you, that's a big
There's
compliment.
a guy in the grandstands that just nudged his buddy and said, that's how I used to ride. Yeah, like 94.5 points like Stetson. Nobody rode like that.
Yeah, Killer Bee wasn't in the draw when you were a kid. Yeah.
Love those guys. Anyway, two great announcers. It's uncanny sometimes. So Corley called me and said, you've been imitating me, and so I want him to know we do it.
Carly, we love you. He's still trying to figure out how to turn his iPhone on.
Yeah.
How do you use this damn thing? So we got to turn it on.
Well, I appreciate you guys. We'll heading into PBR World Finals. We'll kick its butt. You know what, Richard? The World Finals isn't going to kick its own ass.
That's right.
So I
We
guess
might as
we
well
better
do it.
do it.
It's going to be the best finals we've ever done in Texas.
Best one. Oh yeah,
One of the top two.
One of the
we
top
had a
two.
pretty good one.
We had a pretty good one, but this one's going to be better. It is.
They'll be good.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I hope they got the insurance up on that Dickies Arena because we're liable to blow the roof off of them.
Should we just keep going with saying?
Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, listen, for those watching, we're going to go off the air and finish off that plate of cinnamon rolls that
damn right.
Tony left us for up here. Thanks, you guys. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you,
buddy.
buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.